Hey viewers, Sci-Fi Audio from Glen Rock, New Jersey, bringing you today a Krell KPS-20i CD player, which is quite a workhorse. The 20i came out right about 1985 at a whopping $9,000, which is a ton of money by today's standards. It was their flagship CD player at the time, and they sell it as their marketing sort of language talks about the fact that it's both a DAC and a CD transport in one box. Well, most CD players are such things, but because the DAC section has inputs as well, I guess they can kind of claim that. You'll see as I go through the features and functionality that it does in fact accept a bunch of digital inputs as well. So 20i, 9,000 bucks original. It's a heavy unit. It's made out of extruded aluminum throughout. There's not a piece of metal or steel anywhere. This is all extruded, very thick aluminum, and absolutely beautifully built. It runs pretty warm. You can kind of feel that they're using the sides as heat sinks. This particular side runs a little hotter. It has 11 regulation stages in the power supply and I think 100 volt ampere power supply, which is absolutely crazy for a CD player. But this is how Krell did things in the 90s. They overbuilt them, and this is a great testament. This thing works beautifully still after many years. So came out in 95. I think it was discontinued about 10 years later, if not a bit earlier. There were two versions. This particular version was the basic, and there was one that had a volume stepped attenuator output, which means you could use it as a digital preamp as well. This one has a fixed volume, which is how we like it. We like to use a separate preamp for these units. We bought this unit to complete one of our Krell stacks. We've got a tremendous grouping of Krell equipment that we are what we call a full stack. In other words, some of the best pieces from that era, and this is the cherry on top. So this completes it. So let me give you a good frontal view here. It is a top-loading CD player, which means, as you can tell, that is access from the top. It comes with this gorgeous, sort of retro-looking disc clamp that is magnetized, and they claim that it helps with eccentricity of the CD. It's got really neat lights that you can see here to accentuate or let you see what you're doing in case you're listening to music with the lights dimmed. And unlike many CD players that are top loaded, this one actually will play with the top open, which is kind of cool. So there you go, kind of almost like a turntable experience. Technically, the 20i is based on our favorite laser transport, which is the Philips CDM9, which is a professional grade laser transport. We see these on jukeboxes, avionics, really high-end commercial equipment, and luckily they sourced that laser for this unit, which makes this almost bomb-proof. We rarely see a CDM9 laser fail, even if it's been heavily used. So this unit is good to go probably for another 20 years before it needs anything else. Apparently the CDM9 is mounted on a 7-pound piece of cast bronze. You can kind of just see it through the cracks here. That helps with stability, thermal mass, etc. So pretty neat. Let's see. There's the close button. I'm gonna go through the controls from left to right. Hit play here. It has dual displays, which is kind of nice. One shows you what track you're on, and the other one actually has a timer on it. A lot of CD players from this era would have just had a single display, so this is kind of nice. And then the functions are spread out from here for the pause, A, B, repeat, all the typical things you would see it. And this allows you to switch between the modes on the time. And this allows you to dim the display. Pretty cool. That's a power button there. This window here looks like it would do something. It's really just the receiver for the infrared, so nothing big there. Typical Krell plaque built right into it, held in place by a bunch of screws. Very typical from the 90s for Krell. Now the buttons are a little bit small and hard to read. You have to be just at the right angle. The engraving isn't great on it. It's certainly set in and is painted, but because of the brushed finish, it doesn't really stand out that much. So Luckily, after having a CD player for a few weeks, you'll probably memorize where everything is. So it's not a big long-term issue, but it would have been nice to have something a little bit easier to read. Because it is a DAC, it has all the input selections here. Here we have CD. That one's a coax 1, coax 2, optical, ST, that's a glass fiber input, and XLR. Okay, and sync, I believe this is for clock. You can actually get an external card to manage the clocking between this and another DAC. I'm not sure why you'd want that. Another cool feature is that it's got a direct access for each track, which is kind of nice. You can actually punch in the number of the track you want, and the unit will start playing immediately. So if you hit a stop and you go on one track, let's say 11, you hit play, it'll start playing track 11 right away. So that's a neat feature. All right, let me stop here. By the way, the unit is just this top piece here. We've got it sitting on top of a seismic sink isolation base. So I don't want you to think that it's this tall. It's actually just a few inches tall. Looking at the remote, typical again from brands of this era, machined aluminum or at least extruded aluminum remote, very, very well built with the ability to control not just this player, but other Krell devices. Nice piece. Looking at the back, here are arrangement of digital inputs. We've got the toss link there, the coax. Sorry, let me get in view. The toss links to the coax, the XLR, the secondary coax, the glass fiber. Here's the power button, removable IC power cord. And this card allows you to have additional digital outputs. So you could have ordered glass fiber, toss link, etc., including clocking for the separate DAC that we discussed. Far left of the unit, you'll see the RCA and the XLR outputs. So pretty much everything you'd want in a piece like this. Now, the CD didn't really evolve much past this point. So we like sort of flagship CD players from this era, especially the super reliable ones like this. We have a separate video that we did on the Mark Levinson equivalent to this, which is the 31, which is one of our absolute favorites as well. Same kind of build and design quality and robustness. Look at our channel if you want to see who the competitor to the Krell KPS-20i would have been, and that was the Mark Levinson 31, which we also have on our website, hifiaudio.com. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you like these sort of videos. It'll keep us motivated to keep bringing them to you. And make sure you visit our website if you want to see other cool things. Thanks for watching.